I'm gonna actually just do stuff and then just... Welcome back to Plants Not Plastic. I'm Nikita and I bring you recipes that are delicious, inexpensive, simple, and healthy. Today I'm bringing you a recipe that is a functional replacement for classic tuna salad. With all the recipes that I've shown you so far, including this one, they're things that I've made for years, and I think because of that I've kind of lost touch with like what makes them so good because they're flavors that I'm just used to at this point. And as I was thinking about it, I realized that for me personally, tuna salad is actually kind of a weird recipe, and I wanted to understand why it's considered so classic in the United States. So I actually looked it up, and what I found is that it became popular in the early 19th century because Japanese fishing methods had been brought to the United States, specifically Southern California, and tuna was like widely available because of that, and it was really cheap. So housewives started replacing things like chicken and salmon in their salads. That's actually something I find kind of weird about it, that like we're cool putting tuna and mayonnaise and bread and taking it out for like hours. Now that I don't eat fish, even more so, I would probably question eating room temperature tuna. So I really like that there's a plant-based alternative to be able to still get that nostalgic flavor. Something about chickpeas almost has like a tuna-y kind of flavor, so it goes really great as a tuna salad replacement. Also, compared to a typical tuna salad, it's gonna have 12 times more fiber, 4 times less fat, and will be a quarter of the cost to a pre-made option. My recipe is also gonna be less expensive and more healthy than another vegan option because it doesn't use mayonnaise or any other specialty ingredients. I'll share more about the nutrition facts at the end of the video, but if you want the full nutrition details, you can go to my blog at PlantsNotPlastic.com, where I'll have a nutrition label that links out to Chronometer. It's also just 6 ingredients with salt to taste, requires minimal chopping, no cooking, a bowl, and a potato masher. And as always, it's whole foods, plant-based, vegan-friendly, low-fat, and has no oil. To make this recipe, you will need 2 15-ounce cans of garbanzo beans. This also equates to 3 1/4 cups of rehydrated, which I think is 1 1/4 cups dry. 3 ribs of celery diced. What I mean by diced for the celery is it really depends on just like how big pieces of celery you want there to be in the end of the recipe. Because you're not cooking anything, what you cut is what you're gonna get. What I typically do is I will cut them in half or into thirds depending on how big of a piece of celery I have, and then just chopping them lengthwise. If you saw my mac and cheese recipe, you'll have seen that I have a quick zero waste tip, which is to pre-chop celery and carrots and put them in water in a container in the fridge. They'll last for at least a week this way. 1/3 of a medium red onion, finely diced. 3 tablespoons of mustard. I'm gonna use yellow, but any kind of mustard will work. 4 tablespoons of sweet relish, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and then salt to taste. After you've chopped your veggies, you are going to start by draining and rinsing your chickpeas and then transferring them to a large bowl. Next, you're gonna mash your chickpeas with a potato masher. You can skip all of this and just use a food processor, but I find that it's easier to just clean a potato masher in a bowl. You wanna be careful not to over mash them, so you'll just mash them to the point until you don't have any whole chickpeas left. A huge hack is to twist your potato masher as you're mashing. That'll make it much easier for you to get the chickpeas. That's pretty much all the hard work. All that's left is to just throw in the rest of your ingredients and mix it together. It has a really good crunch to it. I just realized I'm hungry. So as you saw, this recipe was super easy to make, and it really does have everything. It has sweetness, saltiness, acidity, And then it even has like a little bit of richness from the starch in the beans. It's pretty tough to find a comparison because chickpea and tuna salad are typically homemade, but I was able to find one that's about $5 for 12 ounces. Comparatively, you could make that same volume of this recipe at home for $1.25. In terms of the nutrition facts, per 500 calories, that same pre-made option has less than 2 grams of fiber with over 40 grams of fat and barely any vitamins and minerals, the largest of which is sodium. Or my homemade chickpea salad option has over 22 grams of fiber with less than 10 grams of fat and tons of vitamins and minerals. You'll also never really hear me talk about protein when it comes to nutrition facts. As a quick sidebar, the World Health Organization recommends 0.38 grams of protein per pound of body weight conservatively, which you'll get as long as you're eating enough food. Even with that though, this chickpea salad has more protein than the pre-made tuna salad does, even when its first ingredient is tuna. So that's it for today. If you like this recipe, please do subscribe and click the bell to get notifications when I put out new content. You can also subscribe to my blog at PlantsNotPlastic.com, as well as follow me on social media. All that information is detailed below in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more delicious, inexpensive, simple, and healthy recipes. Bye.
Did you put extra relish?
I love relish. I just do extra. Yeah, a little bit, but I should be okay. Are we? Is there? Are you? Am I?